Psalm 92, 12, 13, and 14. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those that he planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing. Tonight I'm teaching and preaching from the fall subject, the theme, upward bound. Upward bound. Find your neighbor to the left or the right, anyone who participates with you, and tell them upward bound. Upward bound. Our lesson tonight is a call, a clarion call to contrast and comparisons. It is a text that allows us to measure one thing from another. It gives us the ability to discern the opposite end of the spectrum. It gives us a thrust and calls to us our attention that the verse speaks to us about the righteous. While this word is universal in nature, it deals with specifics. While it is meant to be applicable to all will not receive it, because all choose not to walk in this inclusive or exclusive way. The text says, to us the righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. The one that is walking with intentionality towards God shall flourish. The language of the text gives us emblems of the palm tree and the cedar tree. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. The palm tree grows from one column. It does not have many roots. It has not many extensions. It comes from one column. The palm tree grows fast. It grows up to 10 meters or 30 feet in height inside of 6 years. The palm tree is so narrow and so focused that it grows from one place, and it grows so fast because it uses less energy to fight off insects. It does not waste any energy in trying to fight off insects. So that's what allows the tree to grow on an average of 5 feet a year, because it does not use energy to fight off insects. What it's really saying to us tonight is that sometimes our growth can be hindered when we waste energy on insects. That when we spend too much time worrying about people who don't care about us, and situations and circumstances that is obvious for which we have to go through, that you need to learn to not waste your energy on insects. Insects comes to damage the root of the palm tree, but the palm tree don't fight with it. The palm tree, just by nature, just uses its energy to rise. Does not use its energy to spread itself wide, but rather to rise. It rises up to about 30 feet in tough terrain. Don't need proper soil, don't need moisture. Thrives in desert places because it uses its energy and its focus and fixation to rise. Because it does not spend its energy on insects that seek to destroy. I hope you get this, because oftentimes we don't realize that sometimes our growth is stunted. Our dreams and our hopes are stunted because we're so focused on the distractions and so focused on the insects, so focused on the critics, so focused on what's broken, so focused on what's unfulfilled that it compromises our height in growth, because we're so busy trying to spread ourselves, trying to fit in where we can get in, and trying to have so many friends and so many associates, instead of having a single focus, growing from one column. Right where you are, you can grow. You don't have to rip and run all over Charlotte to get what God got for you. You can grow right where you are. You just got to learn to stop letting insects pull on your energy. And you make up your mind that I'm going to grow right here, and the God who is omnipresent, the God who is omniscient, the God who is on your side, the God who knows you by name, the God who favors you can bless you right here. And that's what makes the miracle a miracle, because your situation, your locale, when people look at it from their eye gate, you should not be growing where you are. Do I have a witness in here? You don't have the proper pruning, you don't have the proper soil, you're not in the proper location, but your height level have not been negotiated or compromised, because you've made a decision that I'm going to not worry about the nets, the mosquitoes, and the flies that's trying to eat at me, but with one single focus, I'm going to stay right here and grow. I wish somebody right here would sideswipe your neighbor and tell them, don't waste no energy on stuff that don't matter. Do I have a witness in here? Don't you dare waste your energy. It's draining. It's training for you. Lord have mercy, to spend too much time allowing the small things to become big things. Watch this. The righteous shall flourish, Lord have mercy, like the palm tree, and shall grow like the cedar. Now here's the cedar. The cedar is different than the palm tree, because the cedar is representative of a slow growth. In fact, the cedar, before it breaks the earth and comes to the surface, could be under the earth for at least 8 to 10 years. Lord have mercy, hidden under the earth, not seen to the natural eye. Lord have mercy, for the first 10 years, that tree, even though nobody know that tree has been planted, that tree is right there and has been there for at least a decade. But watch this, the height of that cedar, unlike the palm tree, can go up to 120 to 180 feet, watch this, and can live for 1,500 years. I wish I had a witness in here. When you become like the cedar tree, you are hidden, tucked away, nobody see you, but you're growing underneath. I wish I had a witness in here. Lord have mercy. Don't look at somebody next to you and say, don't write me off. Please don't write me off. Because you may not see what God is doing right now, but God is doing something under the earth. He's growing me under the earth. And when I sprout forward, Lord have mercy, when I come up, you ain't going to be able to stop it. You ain't going to be able to measure my height. Lord have mercy. And in fact, you ain't going to be able to put an expiration on how long I last, because I'm going to outlive some things. I wish I had a witness in here. See, somebody going to try to write you off, but look at somebody and say, if you're writing me off, tell them you don't know how to count. Tell your neighbor you don't know how to count if you're writing me off. Lord have mercy, I didn't been through too much. I've been through too much too often. I've been down for the last count, but I keep rising. And because God keep doing something, just because I'm hidden and because my name is not out there and because I don't have a big platform, don't mean I don't have some legitimacy about who I am. Come on, talk back to me, somebody. Lord have mercy. Come on, high five your neighbor. Look your neighbor in the eye tonight and tell him, don't you dare write me off. Because either I am the palm tree or either I'm the cedar of Lebanon. Y'all sit down. Watch what the psalmist says. He says, the righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like the cedar in Lebanon. And watch this. Here is the condition. He says, those that be planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. In order to get the results of the palm tree and the cedar of Lebanon, you got to be planted. Lord have mercy. You got to be planted, and anything that is planted must be buried. It must be submerged under something. I wish I had a witness in here. Lord have mercy. You cannot be at the surface and call yourself planted. Lord have mercy. Stuff got to pile up over top of you. Lord have mercy. And you got to be planted, because when you get planted, Lord have mercy, that's the opportunity for you to break forward. In other words, death stuff that looks like it wants to cover you up got to come your way in order for you to rise up. Lord have mercy. I ain't gonna be before you too much longer. I'm gonna hit it and quit it. But you got to understand tonight, you got to be planted. You can't be all over the place. You can't, Lord have mercy, be surface oriented. You got to have a submerge about yourself. You got to have some depth about yourself. You got to make up your mind, I'm gonna dig deep right here where I am. I wish I had a witness in here. We got too many people that just want to rise up too fast. And sometimes we're so excited about the height that we don't pay attention to the depth. I wish I had a witness in here. Sometimes we're more excited, Lord have mercy, about the fruit, but we don't pay attention to the root. You got to make your mind up and understand tonight that my height is intrinsically tied to my depth, because the wind gonna blow on me above the surface. And if I'm gonna be able to handle the winds that blow on me, my roots got to be deep. Do I have a witness in here? Come on, find somebody next to you. Tell them to dig deep tonight. Tell them to dig deep. Tell them to dig deep tonight. Tell them you got to go deeper. Tell somebody next to you tonight, Lord have mercy, you got to bury yourself. Lord have mercy. That's why you are called resurrection. You're called resurrection because you get up from the dead. I wish I had a witness in here. Lord have mercy. You're called resurrection because you can survive
death situations. Lord have mercy. That's why you're called resurrection, is because some folk thought you were dead, but you're going to get up and live again. God, I wish I had a witness up in here. Lord have mercy. And there's enough stuff that tried to kill you. Am I right about it? There's enough stuff thought you was down for the last count. Lord have mercy, but you're still here. You got evidence of scars. You got evidence of wounds. You got evidence of psychological problems. You got emotional problems. You got nightmares. You got situations and circumstances, but you're still here. I wish I had a witness in here, because what they thought when they put their foot on you and put dirt on you, they thought they had written you off. All they didn't understand was the fact that they set you up for a flourishing. God, I wish I had a witness right here. They didn't set you up to rise, because you can't rise if you've never been buried. Come on, grab somebody tonight by the hand, shake it for me, and tell them tonight, you got to get buried. You got to be planted. You got to get planted. You got to get planted. You got to plant yourself. When winds blow on you and situations come, that's not the time to run. That's the time to dig deeper and plant yourself. I wish I had a witness in here. When church folk get on your nerve, plant yourself. Do I have a witness in here? When things don't work out the way you want it to work, plant yourself. Do I have a witness in here? Don't look for the exit sign, look for the entrance. Do I have a witness in here? Don't look to bail out, look to jump in. I wish I had a witness in here. When the fire break out, don't run from the fire, run to the fire. Do I have a witness in here? When trouble come, don't run from the trouble, run to the trouble, because you are trouble proof. And God wants to show the world that you can go through everything and come out good on the other side. Do I have anybody in here tonight that made their mind up? I'm going to plant myself. That's what I'm going to do. That's just what I'm going to do. Lord have mercy. I don't care what happens, what's going on. This is what I'm going to do. When you plant yourself, Lord have mercy, in the house of the Lord, he says you're going to flourish in his courts. Lord have mercy. I open this text by telling you there's contrast and comparison. So in other words, to interpret the text appropriately, you can't just read and hear what it is saying. You got to also read and hear what it's not saying. Do I have a witness in here? And here is the condition of the text. If you ain't planning yourself, you won't have the ability to stay in the house of the Lord. And if you don't stay in the house of the Lord, you won't flourish in his courts. I wish I had a witness in here. Do I have anybody in here tonight that made their mind up that I'm going to flourish in the courts of the Lord? Do I have a witness in here? I know you got the ability to do it, because when you was a devil, you was a devil. I wish I had a witness in here. When you were mean, you were mean. When you were a party animal, you were a party animal. When you cussed folk out, you really cussed them out. When you took a drink, you couldn't sip it. You had to swallow it. I wish I had a witness up in here. When you wasn't saved, you gave it all that you had. Don't get saved and get soft. Am I right about it? If you had passion when you were a sinner, you ought to have passion now that you are a saint. Am I right about it? When you was in the world, they talk nasty to you. You just talk nasty back. Am I right about it? Now, we don't have a license to talk nasty back. But when someone talk nasty to you, bless them in Jesus' name. Am I right about it? Lord have mercy. Look at somebody and tell them tonight, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to plant myself. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bury myself. I'm going to get deeper in the word. I'm going to get deeper in my worship. I'm going to get deeper in my prayer. I'm going to get deeper in my fellowship. I'm going to get deeper in my stewardship. I'm going to get deeper in my worship. I'm just going to get deeper. I'm going to ride this ship until I get it safe to land. Do I have a witness in here? Lord have mercy. I gotta go, but I come tonight to tell you, plant yourself, because if you don't plant yourself, you're gonna be tossed by the waves. That's why you see people coming and going. Am I right about it? And they try to blame it on the Lord, that the Lord got me over here, and the Lord got me over here. It ain't the Lord, it's your double-mindedness. Am I right about it? Because when you're single-minded, you know how to stay put, you know how to stand your ground, and then ground you stand. Stand your ground, then ground you stand. Stand your ground, then ground you stand. Am I right about it? Come on, act like this. Stand your ground, then ground you stand. Stand your ground, then ground you stand. Stand your ground, then ground you stand. Look at somebody with some authority tonight. Say, you ain't been sending me nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. Am I right about it? I'm in the house of my Father, and right here, right now, I'm going to flourish. Watch me succeed. Watch me overcome. Watch me get through it. Watch me get over it. Watch me get past it. Watch me overcome it. Watch me be survived. Not only survive, but thrive. Watch me abound. Watch me overcome. Watch me do it the way God told me to do it. Lord have mercy. Good night, resurrection. But the Bible says those that plant in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. Last verse, and I'll leave you alone. They shall still bring forth fruit in their old age. This verse interprets to us, Lord have mercy, if you stay in the courts, you will flourish. If you stay in the house of the Lord, God gonna remove the decay. You won't be able to get rotten. Am I right about it? You're gonna be old without an expiration date. You still, after being old, tattered and torn, still producing. You have a witness in here. Lord have mercy. Look at somebody tonight and tell them, don't hand me a rocking chair. Put a sword in my hand. Am I right about it? Don't you write me off and give me a retirement party. You better give me a celebration, because I'm about to war and overcome up in here. Up in here. Am I right about it? I'm about to get fat in my old age. Am I right about it? I'm going to see some things I've never seen before. I'm going to dream some things I've never dreamed before. I'm going to experience some things I've never experienced before. I'm about to get fat. Am I right about it? High five your neighbor. Look him in the eyes tonight and say, I'm about to get fat. Up in the house of the Lord. Lord have mercy. I'm about to flourish in my old age. See, according to natural thinking, you think your vigor and your apex and your climax will come early. Am I right about it? But God says, I'm going to do more with you with gray hairs. I'm going to do more with you with slow steps. I'm going to do more with you while we have your impediments, because I'm going to let you fool around and get blessed. Am I right about it? All the stuff you missed early on, I got it for you later. Just stay in the house of the Lord. If you just stay in my presence, I'll make you fat. Am I right about it? Good night. Thank you for the opportunity. Am I right about it? Not only will I make you fat, but I'm going to let you flourish. Am I right about it? You're going to be fat, and your fatness is going to mushroom. Am I right about it? Not only will it happen to you, but it's going to happen to everybody that's connected to you. I'm trying to preach it. I'm trying to say it. Hold me, Jesus. Hold me for 5 minutes, and I promise I'll let y'all go. Lord have mercy. What are you trying to say? I'm trying to say you got to take on a palm tree mentality. You got to take on a cedar tree mentality. Am I right about it? And if you do so, watch what will happen in your latter days. You will go up. Am I right about it? Pastor Medlock, Reverend Holder, First Lady Medlock, Second Lady Holder, to the Resurrection family, where I'm going to my seat. But all I'm trying to tell you, in this season, in this next season, I don't care what's going on with you. I come to tell you, you're upward bound. I come to tell you, set your sights on looking up. Set your sights on next level activity. Set your sights. It's time to climb. Find somebody, find somebody. Find somebody next to you and tell them rise. Find somebody next to you and say it's time to ascend. Find somebody and tell them get up. Tell somebody square your shoulders, lift up your head, and let the Lord, the King of glory, come in. Who is the King of glory? He's the Lord, strong and mighty. Do I have a witness in here? Is there anybody in here tonight that made your mind up that you're going to be a palm tree mentality? Have you made your mind up? Lord have mercy. I'm going to have a cedar tree mentality. Is there anybody in here? Say, bury me and watch me rise. Am I right about it? This is shouting stuff, but you looking at me strange and funny. But I come to tell you tonight, you're upward bound. Am I right about it? Don't you fret about a bad relationship. Your heart might have been broken, but don't you fret, because this time it's going to get better. Am I right about it? You got to hear me. Am I right about it? You're upward bound. Slap 5 with somebody tonight and tell somebody, I'm going up. 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 I come tonight to tell somebody you're upward bound. Am I right about it? Don't let your past hold you back. Don't let your failures stop you. Don't let your fears prohibit you. Make your mind up. I shall live and see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. I'm going to stay in the presence of my Father, and He will take care of me. Am I right about it? I'm closing when I tell you this, but do like this. I'm looking up. I'm looking up. I'm lifting my eyes towards the hills from which cometh all my help. Am I right about it? If you fall down, get up. Get up. Get up. I said get up.
Listen, I don't care where you are right now and how it has been. The buzzword for tonight is upward bound. I don't care how low you feel, how difficult it's been. This next season brings height with it. If you are being applicable to this word, if you're going to be submissive to this word, then God is on record and obligated to make you fat and flourishing in dry places. You won't get thirsty in dry places. You're going to grow in rough terrain. Come on, slap your neighbor. Slap him for me and tell him, I'm upward bound. 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 I'm upward.